Welcome to Ascend and Awaken, a life of balance. Today, we'll explore a quality that rarely gets the attention it deserves: humility. In a world that exalts confidence, achievement, and self-promotion, humility may seem inappropriate or even misinterpreted. But on the spiritual path, humility is not weakness, it is strength. It is the quiet power that opens the heart to wisdom, grace, and truth. Let's explore what humility really means, why it matters, and how it transforms your journey from the mind's striving to the soul's awakening. Many people confuse humility with low self-worth or submissiveness. They think being humble means shrinking yourself, downplaying your gifts, or never speaking up. But true humility has nothing to do with thinking less of yourself. It is simply thinking of yourself less often. Humility doesn't mean denying your light. It means recognizing that your light comes from something greater than you. The truly humble person can say, "I am a part of the divine, not the whole of it. I am the wave, but the ocean gives me my power." The greatest obstacle to spiritual growth is the ego's illusion of control. The ego says, "I know everything. I can do this alone. I must be right." Humility says, "I am open. I am learning. I am guided." Clinging to the ego's certainty prevents us from accessing deeper wisdom. But when we surrender that control, even a little, we invite grace to enter. Humility softens the edges of pride. It quiets the need to prove. It creates space for presence. The Zen tradition calls this Shoshin, the beginner's mind. It is the mind that approaches each moment with openness, curiosity, and wonder. No matter how much we think we know, humility keeps us teachable. The beginner's mind says, "I don't know everything, and that's okay. I am willing to be shown." When you live with humility, every moment becomes a teacher. The sunrise, a stranger's smile, even your mistakes. We spend so much of life trying to appear certain, strong, and in control. But humility gives us the freedom to say, "I don't know." That simple phrase dissolves resistance and opens the heart to learning. When you admit you don't know, you make space for higher wisdom to reveal itself through intuition, synchronicity, or stillness. Humility is not ignorance. It is intelligence in its purest form, the intelligence that recognizes its limits. All great spiritual teachers have emphasized humility as a doorway to awakening. The Buddha humbled himself beneath a tree and found enlightenment in stillness. Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. Lao Tzu wrote that the highest rivers flow to the lowest valleys. Why? This is because humility allows divine truth to enter. The cup that is already full cannot receive, but the cup that is empty, that listens, that surrenders, becomes a vessel for grace. When you are humble, you are teachable. When you are teachable, you are transformable. Humility softens the heart. It dissolves the illusion of separation. When you realize you are not above anyone and no one is above you, compassion naturally arises. You begin to see that every person, no matter how lost or proud, is walking their path of learning. You stop judging. You start understanding. Humility doesn't compare or compete. It connects. It whispers, "We're all learning. We're all growing. We're all part of something greater." So how do we cultivate humility? It begins with awareness, noticing when pride, defensiveness, or the need to be right arises. When you catch yourself reacting, pause. Take a breath. Ask, "What is this moment trying to teach me?" Practice listening more than you speak. Give credit freely. Apologize sincerely. Be willing to learn from anyone, even a child, even a mistake, even silence. Every time you release the need to prove something, you make room for peace. Humility is also the ability to let go of control, of outcomes, of always needing to understand. It says, I trust the flow of life. It knows that we are never truly in charge, and that's not something to fear, it's something to celebrate. When you surrender to the divine rhythm, life stops feeling like a battle. You move from resistance to acceptance, from tension to trust. Humility brings you back to alignment with what is. Let's take a few breaths together. Close your eyes if you can. Inhale deeply and slowly exhale. Now, bring to mind a moment where your pride or need to control caused tension. Don't judge it. Just see it clearly. Now, gently imagine handing that moment over to Spirit, to God, to the universe. Whisper quietly, I don't have to carry this alone. Feel the peace that enters when you release control. That peace is humility. It is the stillness that says, I am willing to learn. Humility is not smallness, it is vastness. It allows you to grow endlessly because you never assume you've arrived. It brings calm because you no longer need to defend who you are. It invites grace because you stop trying to earn love and simply allow it. Humility is the ground upon which all true spirituality grows. It turns every moment, even mistakes, into an opportunity for awakening. So as you walk your path, remember, the ego seeks recognition, the soul seeks truth. Humility bridges the two. It helps you remember that you are both the wave and the ocean, both divine and human, both learning and remembering. And when you live from that awareness, life becomes simpler, softer, freer. That is the power of humility on the spiritual path. Thank you for joining me for this reflection on humility. If this message resonates, I invite you to subscribe to Ascend and Awaken, a life of balance. Share in the comments how humility has shaped your path, or how you wish to bring more of it into your life. Peace, love, and light to you on your continual spiritual journey.